Yo, yo. This should be better. Yo.
Hello, guys.
No.
Yo.
Hey, Lord. Oh, my.
Hello, though.
How you doing?
Good, good.
Great fan. And you?
Good. At the airport at the moment. So
Oh,
might be that I'm not making till the end.
no problem,
Oh,
man.
that's a shame.
Well,
Where are you going?
I'm flying from Philippines to Singapore.
Whoa.
Really cool, man.
Yeah, I'm looking
Well,
forward.
I think we'll have no quiz today, guys. So, Squall, man, we're
Yeah,
very
it's
sorry
cool.
about that.
You actually won all the bikes that we had to give away. So,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Squall won all the bikes.
Sorry, guys.
Aw. You want me to give away one?
No, no, no.
No, we are just joking,
That's
Lord. We are
just a
joking.
joke. Just a joke.
Yeah, it's because today specifically we won't have the quiz
Yeah, only
because
today.
we are on
Free,
freestyle
free,
today.
freestyle.
We're going
Yeah, man.
freestyle today.
There's so much to talk about that we couldn't decide on a single topic, so we figured that it would be better to,
Let,
have a freestyle
yeah.
brew.
We had never done this in the past, you
Okay.
know. I feel like it was time to do it.
Yeah, to text something like this.
Yeah,
That's
just
something like
let's see what happens, you know? I know there are
yeah.
a bunch of topics. I love the topic that RS developers suggested on like how can we differentiate DAX and business, guilds and DAX. So
Mm,
that's pretty cool. That's a good topic.
interesting.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see how that turns out, right? Like, we can have too many topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It's always saying that he'll give a airbike to quit to the quiz, and he'll win the airbike that he gives to the quiz. That's the meta. It's called. That's how you get rich, bro. Hey, support Newt. How are you doing, friend?
Hello, hello.
How's the heat wave treating you, Superline? I'm about to die here, man.
It's good. Maybe if you went on that lazy river, like I keep trying to get you to go on, you'd cool down.
Oh man, Scent in the Wilds.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Aras. My friend, how are you?
Hi. How you doing, man?
Good, and you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Heavy and working on it.
Okay.
So, Santi, what are you doing on to start this brew? Maybe you are revealing all the 4 to 6 secrets? Is it something like this?
It's about time.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's going to be entertaining, guys.
Now, I got one remark, and that is that releasing a date that you're gonna release a date is too much hyping, I would say.
What
Give
do
a
you
bit
mean?
more
No.
information.
You
Yeah.
mean that we can't announce an announcement? This is absurd, Lordo.
No. You're announcing some information, and then at that point, you announce that at a certain date we give more information. Like, come on, guys.
Lordo, what I can tell you is that it's going to be a very cool day. Like something that we had with Copa, that vibe where you were all there together, and it was a very exciting moment for Star Atlas as a whole because of the awesome job that you guys were doing. The Fortune 6 event, I don't know, since you can correct me if you think otherwise, but it's like the Copa of Star Atlas. I get this vibe, where we will be able to show you guys some really cool stuff, as you guys showed us lots of cool stuff from the decks.
Yeah, it's like giving back, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
The
if you guys
team-
know about Nintendo Direct, but it gives me Nintendo Direct vibes, if that means anything to you guys.
Are you a Nintendo fanboy, Don?
I watch the Nintendo Directs, hell yeah.
I am
I
too.
never
I love
watched
Nintendo.
one.
Yeah.
What's good, everyone?
Hey, Bomber, how are you doing?
Yo.
Yo.
We're here early today. We're chilling for a bit until we dive deep in the conversation.
No chill.
No chill?
chill?
Only alphas?
Trying,
Only alphas?
trying to get some alpha out of them, but they're sticking to 21.
Oh man, it's hard for us to do it. It's hard for us to do it.
Oh, you can't imagine, guys. We would love to just come and tell you guys everything, but where's the fun in that, right? I want to see everyone's breaking the chat when we release stuff on 421 live.
You just want to see us struggle. It's okay. We get it.
You know that we don't want to see that. We love you guys.
So, can you announce how many things are going to be released on the 21st, or is it all the 6 things that you have announced? Because the 46 weeks is almost over for the 6 releases.
I don't know, Santi. Can we?
Bro, we're on a thin line here, man.
We'll check with the higher ups, see what we can disclose on this kind of terms. But what we can say for sure, it's going to be exciting, guys. It's going to be. It's like a transition. You guys have been reading the lore because you guys. Oh, you know, right? I can't say much more than this without being like super specific. I don't know. It's hard, bro. It's really hard.
You're torn.
Oh man,
So
my
show
heart. I guess Michael spoke about showroom already, right? It's coming on August, I guess.
So what's the credentials to get us into the Star Atlas Slack group, and then we could get it ourselves. It's cool.
What you need to do, right?
Yeah, just show up in the Slack.
Yeah. But yeah, we have much to talk about. And one of the topics that I like that came in the suggestions that you guys also had were Titan ships. This is something really cool. That
Oh
are
yeah, dude, that was
awesome.
my suggestion. Fuck yeah, let's talk about
Yeah,
Titans.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Do you guys have? I mean, on the real, have they even discussed with you all anything about the Titans? Whether that be the ships, the designs, the structure at which they'll release.
Bomber, I guess this is one of the most well guarded secrets inside Star Atlas. You know, like
Ah,
for me, it's like as distant as we are from the moon. Sanchi, who is like our senpai here, might have some more insight. He's closer, you know, because he's closer to God than everyone else. But even Sanchi, I guess, don't have
Closer
this
to
kind of
God.
access.
With God,
so we need.
you mean Swiner with God, right?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
God.
We're all on the same page. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. So, well guarded secret. Mission impossible necessary to get the information.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what we do know comes from inferences, right? That we made. We spoke about Titan ships in the past as well, and I'm sure that we can tinker something and do some theory crafting about them, even though we don't have the confirmations, right?
We can speculate about the Titans.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have some.
one of our biggest speculations was more in line with the actual game and how it would function with such a large object moving around consistently, and how that
Hmm.
would function within the game, and sort of what hindrances that might cause to have such a large object.
Hmm. Yeah, it's crazy because it's disruptive, right? They are so big and so.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of computing processing to basically see that shit moving, and then to then again process it to move for everyone.
Yeah. You need to know also that I'm not super familiar with Unreal Engine 5 technologies, but with all this, what's the nanite? Like you can have like super detailed, huge objects, uh, rendering for like super low consumption of your your PC, you know? So that's another thing.
Yeah, when it comes to nanite, it's freaking awesome. But the biggest thing is the lumen. It drops the FPS so much down. But there are third-party tools like the NVIDIA DLSS and so on. Those really help a lot to bring the FPS sometimes 2 or 3 times higher. Because with Lumen, you start from like 20, 25 FPS. It's terrible. But
Hmm.
Yeah.
but with the LSS, it can go up to 58 to 60, and this is with the, let's say, if you have got 3060 graphic card, but if you got like 3070 or 3080, you'll probably have better FPS. But DSLR does the same thing. Screen resolution, percentage change will also help a lot too.
Yeah. I
So
think
your professional opinion is that the upgrade to UE5 will necessarily sort of cover over those issues that might have happened with the previous, right? With loading such a large scale object consistently.
This is Lumino. Bomber, we just arrived. So the guy who just talked is Ajima. He's actually the developer of the Coexis community game on Unreal Engine 5. So if you can just recap what you guys were just talking about, then he might maybe able to answer your
Oh
questions.
yeah, certainly. So the conversation started with Titans, how it's the most well guarded secret. So we're essentially just going to be theory crafting. And I mentioned something less along the line of theory crafting for game lore and more for the sense of game actual function. which was some of our crew members raised the concern over wondering how such a large scale object would consistently be loaded for everyone. Would it cause issues if they kept moving? We just weren't familiar with the backend system and something of such magnitude. We were curious how it would affect the system as a whole. The players, would everyone be able to load these sorts of titans, or would it be less quality? Or if in general there would just be sort of a movement cap on them so that they could only go to a certain distance just based on the computing.
Oh no! Just like Santa said, Nanite take cares everything. The technology behind Nanite is just you can load millions of polygons and have literally no problem at all, even with lower graphic cards. But you should definitely have at least NVIDIA 2000 series or higher. But yeah, I don't think there will be a problem in terms of PC specs end of it. The problem could come from the server end of it. That's I'm not too familiar with when it comes to servers, but there was a test where they did a Web3 multiplayer game. It was just like for testing purposes, I believe. I watched it somewhere. It was one of the interviews for the Star Atlas guys did it on YouTube. There were tons of people moving around, maybe thousands of people moving around, and the Web3 server handled it amazingly. So
Oh, you mean the Bored Ape thing? I don't remember the name. Yeah.
yeah, that thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So to my understanding, I don't with the Web3 server side of it, I don't think we will have that much problems. I'm actually very optimistic about it.
That's good to hear, because the server question was the next one, right? Like the load on the server was certainly a concern. But if your professional opinion is that this new technology really reduces the loading speeds that significantly, that it really shouldn't be a problem. But
Oh yeah, the
soon to be seen.
nanite incredibly it almost nanite acts like there's nothing in front of you, but there are millions of polygons in front of you. It is just mind blowing.
The nice
So
thing about nanites is it makes the object like stationary. Whereas with most programming and everything like that, with apart from nanites, the object takes too much of your RAM because it's technically not stationary. Nanite makes the object itself stationary, and in like almost in a sense, it doesn't have an effect on the environment. And if an object doesn't have an effect on the environment, it doesn't eat at your CPU or GPU or anything of that sort. So that's what nanites brings in. It still makes the object look absolutely out of this world, but no longer chow as much basically GPU and CPU.
oh yeah, there is an option in Unreal when you're setting certain objects that are actually moving along, which is you can set from static to stationary to movable. But
exactly
with Nanite and Lumen, you don't have to make anything movable other than the Lumen light itself. Everything can be just stationary. It's amazing.
It's absolutely out of this world how like how UE5's like nanite stuff and so on is going to change how much more you're going to be able to dive into games and environments themselves.
Thank you for the tips, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this brew just kicked off itself, We didn't even need to do anything. We went full freestyle even like in the introduction. So maybe just a quick introduction. Guys, this is the Atlas Brew. As always, grab a drink, grab a coffee, whatever you like. Join us in the theory crafting into anything metaverse related, Star Atlas, and now also game development with Unreal Engine 5 in this brew, So yeah, guys, just grab a drink, join us, and welcome to the Atlas Brew number 21. We're going full freestyle today. We are also in preparation for the 4 to 6 event. I know that we're being cryptic with what is coming, but basically 4 to 6 event is basically a celebration of the releases. It's literally a party that happens while we release stuff. I wish I could tell you guys. I need to keep my mouth shut, but there are good things coming. We have been waiting for this. So just join us the 21st of July. because it's going to be a party. That's literally what it's going to be. We are going to get to hang out together and celebrate the new releases, literally. Jose,
Yeah,
my
yeah, and
co-host.
thank you, Santi. And just to add to that, Santi, I think it's okay that we share with the community that this isn't going to be as long as Copa, right? It's
Yes.
going to be like 1 to 2 hours event. There will be opportunity for us to talk with each other, like in the Brew, like we had in Copa. And we'll have a lot to discuss about that day, right? So I think the Brew tent will be a place for some interesting gathering during and after the event.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty cool. Again, I don't want to leak stuff. I wish I could leak everything, Jose.
Yeah, it's so
Just give
hard,
it,
It's
Santi.
man.
very, it's
Yeah,
very
it's so
difficult, man.
hard.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. But yeah, just be there, be present. 21st of July, only 2 hours, so you can just chill while you enjoy with the community and while we release some products, guys. So without further
Is
ado,
there
I
a
think we can
time
move
frame yet?
to time frame. You mean, or at what time it starts?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts at 1 p.m. EST. So that's in UTC. That's 5 p.m. UTC. 17.
Perfect, because I'm flying home that day, so then I can be there.
I'll be flying too. I'm probably gonna miss it with
Oh
my flight
no,
number 426.
bro, that was insane. When I saw your
Man,
I
tweet, I was
know.
like, wow,
I know. It's like stars aligned,
We're
but
living in a simulation. This is true.
Illuminati
That
confirmed.
confirms it.
yeah.
crazy, man,
Yep.
crazy. So 426 is your flight number on the 21st of July.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah. I
that's
hope it doesn't get delayed.
That's
my
Tell us
God.
the
crazy.
truth.
Hey, yo.
Tell us the truth. You're the
Yeah,
time
I'm just
traveler.
saying.
hope it doesn't get delayed. That was a good one. I gotta give. That was a
Well,
good one.
I think the message made its final destination. So hopefully, fingers crossed, things gonna be good on 426.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, we are super hyped.
Yeah. We are excited. We've been waiting for this. So yeah, again, it's just it's literally a party, a moment to get together with the community and celebrate. So yeah, be there, be present. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. That's all we're going to say today. And let's move to the freestyle. We were speaking about Titans. I'm not sure if Bomber, if you still have some comments about Titans. But basically, guys, freestyle. What means freestyle in the brew? Literally, we speak about anything that comes up and anybody can propose like a topic. So this is the first time we're doing it. I'm not even sure how it's going to go. I think it's going to be great. But we were speaking about Titans, so Bomber took the lead on that one. So Bomber, any extra comments about Titans in Star Atlas?
I would like to say I came here to hear you and Zesk freestyle. That's what I thought this was about.
Oh,
Oh,
Santi,
I want to hear
get
the
the
rap,
moves
guys. Where's
going.
the rap?
Yeah,
Where's the
man.
bar, Santi? We know, and Jose, we know you guys have the voice for it. Come on.
Oh man,
no.
Santi.
Zesk, please
Yeah,
stand up,
yeah.
please.
Wait.
Santi, drop
Wait.
that. Drop that. Yeah.
If we put it into an
Yo,
NFT and you sell it to us, can we have it then?
Guys,
Because that's what I want.
I wanted to talk, if we are freestyle here, I wanted to talk about something that Don spoke with us this week about the DAO. Like, what would be the first motion that would put up for voting in terms of the Polish DAO, if you guys were able to do that?
What are your proposals?
To get a
Yeah.
The
freestyle
Ooster
from you and
faction.
Zesk.
It'll be
Sorry,
funny if it's like the very first proposal ever in the DAO. Freestyle from
which
Jose
one?
and Santi. Brew.
First, oh man, that would be awesome.
Yes. I'm actually
Yeah.
gonna make a proposal like that 100%.
Same. Let's meme it. Let's meme the first vote forever in the existence of Star Atlas.
100%. We make it a 4-6 thing that we want from Santi and Jose. It has to be done. And if everybody votes yes and we get it gone through, well then we're gonna make an NFT out of it.
Ronnie, You are on the
Yeah.
team, bro. What are you doing?
I
want to have
I'll
a rap
start.
session. I want to have a rap of you guys freestyling. What do you mean?
Oh man, look at that, Santi. Betrayal at the
What
heart
do
of
you
the
mean
company.
betrayal?
Uh,
I listen, yeah, I've wanted to have Santi's voice on an NFT for so long, so we got to get it somehow. Okay, if it's through a proposal, you know what? I'm gonna go with it as well, and I'm gonna put my vote to yes.
Oh man.
No, but
Uh,
in all
So-
seriousness, it
Yes.
will be interesting to see what comes of the first vote. I think it's going to be really dependent on what content is released, and sort of what people enjoy and what they dislike.
Yeah.
like, for example, do you think that the Treaty of Peace would be something that would be voted void in the Polish DAO?
Between interfaction,
Yeah.
You
That's
mean
actually
like
such a cool thought. That's such a cool thought, actually. What the hell?
like a temporary piece?
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah.
you mean?
I wanted to get.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, this is like the 1 million Polish question, right? What would happen with the treaty if it was up to the DAO to decide its fate? And this is happening, guys. You know that, right? This motion is going to come for voting sooner or later.
I would not be surprised if the first few votes would be more about I want to earn more Atlas, I want you to sell less ships, and that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that they will pass. I'm just pretty sure some people will create those proposals.
Do you think, Funcracker? In my opinion, I guess that the ones that are going to be like the bigger influencers, let us say that, in terms of proposals to the DAO, is not those about tokenomics or economic models. I think that the ones that will have more appeal and that will gather more, let us say, like movement from the community are those involved with gameplay. Like, for example, this question about the Tree of Peace. This is something like fundamental for Star Atlas because it has giant implications in every front of our project. For example, this would change the lore that I write, you know? That would change, for example, let me, for example, show something cool that I was thinking about. If the Treaty of Peace is declared void, interfaction markets would be affected by it. Would the players be able to buy ships from other factions? This is something really cool that I envision that it's going to be a huge part of the gameplay of Political Star Atlas, you know? Because as of now, we are on the peace, so everyone has access to every good in the galaxy. But if the Treaty of Peace is declared void, would this result in the intergalactic marketplace actually not being able to stay as one market, but into splitting into several factions markets? Wouldn't that be
That's
interesting?
interesting, Jose. I never thought about it. Like if the
That's
Treaty of
Yeah.
Peace is
insane.
wrong, is like it's gone. There's like no peace between factions.
Yeah,
Probably
so
no
no one's
trading.
trading. Exactly.
Trade wars between the
Yeah,
factions.
that's the kind of gameplay features that I'm envisioning and that I'm positioning the lore to capture, you know, Santi? Because our whole here in the Atlas Brew is to bring awareness. I always say this. And this is what takes Star Atlas to be one of the most interesting projects in the world. Because everything that we do, every decision in the Police DAO, everything that we decide on that will have huge implications and almost instantly implications to the game features. And this is exciting, you know?
So a question then, right? Because as far as I'm aware, I would assume that gameplay in fiction stuff should actually be decided by the faction DAOs themselves instead of by the all-encompassing super DAO that, as far as I'm aware, is
Yeah,
actually intended to be
faction
more on the
politics.
tokenomics part and voting on the various levers and whatnot. So it would be a bit weird to me if the sorry, the AFIA so if the Star
Watch
Atlas
out,
DAO
Funkcracker!
if the Star Atlas
People
DAO
are,
would
yeah,
decide to yeah, let's say declare the treaty void because
yeah, yeah, you are
Sounds
right.
to be an
You are
infiction
right.
thing, in lore thing within the game. So by the faction DAO,
This is actually a very interesting question in terms of politics, right? Because if it
Sorry,
was,
could
for
you ask
example,
again? I didn't catch the question. It was kind of, I was lost in the middle.
yeah, what we are discussing now is the political part of being under the Treaty of Peace. And the question can be proposed in many different forms, right? Because on faction level, I believe that the correct term that would be proposed to the faction would be like, will, for example, the Onis declare that they are withdrawing from the Treaty of Peace, or that they are declaring war on the Usur or on the Mud? I guess this is faction politics, and you are right about this, Funcracker.
I have
But
a question regarding that for sure. Is the
okay,
for this peace treaty is essentially the game locking function based on the DAO? Meaning, could I break the treaty of peace myself, like just messing with another faction, or is the game actually going to stop me from attacking them?
that's actually a very interesting question.
no, I think
And
you can attack them just fine, right? You're just considered a pirate.
an outlaw, yes, you'd be considered an outlaw because it's under the law of the galaxy that the factions are under peace. So it's the same thing as a terrorist attacking someone, you know?
So we don't care then.
Yeah,
Peace,
way,
war,
yeah.
whatever.
yeah, you'll be an outlaw anyway, right?
Yeah, doesn't matter there.
But in terms of macro gameplay, it matters a lot, you know? Like, for example, if the one of the or two factions declare that they are breaking with the Treaty of Peace, it has implications in terms of market. And just like in real life, you know, and this gives depth and complexity to Star Atlas, you know. This is like the beauty of the game. And that's why I always loved Polis. Because as I said, Star Atlas is at its heart a political game. And politics is the framework where everything happens in Star Atlas. So yeah, I would love to see your insights and your thoughts about what would happen, or that if the community is really, because when I asked this question on Twitter, it was like 75% of the players in the game think that they would vote for the destruction of the Treaty of Peace. But when you start thinking about the implications of that, I think these people would have a different opinion, you know?
So, Jose, it's made you easy. What
Hey,
happens
Major.
what happens if we sign the treaty, Dark Matter, right? Well, I'm not respecting any treaty of peace. Fuck that shit. So what happens then?
Nothing.
No,
You'll be outlaws again,
nothing.
right?
Yeah, you are
I was
outlaws.
asking,
Be
we're just
branded a
outlaws.
pirate.
Yeah, no, but so
Doesn't matter.
the guild can still sign the treaty, so it's a meaningless piece of paper, and we can still do whatever we like.
Yeah,
Well,
just
the
like in
treaty
real life.
The treaty is mainly amongst the faction itself and everything like that,
Yeah.
and the faction's relation towards the other major factions being Pierce, Boosin, and Visas. So what happens is if you were to basically attack another faction and everything like that, your relations with Copa, being the treaty and everything like that, goes and starts being diminished more and more. It's not so much more that you can't do this and you can't do that. It's more just like what's going to happen with you with your relations to your faction and the other factions. This is more what you need to think about.
Yeah, it's just like GTA, you know, like you get those stars, you are hunted, you get bounties on your head, and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think that experience would be inverse?
Sorry, Bomba?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut everyone off, but essentially, if we're saying that we do something negative and we receive negative rapport with said faction, would we receive rapport for another faction in doing so? So, for example, if we're at war with another faction and we attack them, would we then receive more reward for our own?
Like Avatar. The guy stops working for the invading people and starts fighting for the Na'vi people. Even though technically he's a human, he's fighting for a different faction now. He should be gaining faction reputation for the other side.
Yeah, I guess if you are on the war, like you are doing your faction's work, right? You are like a seasoned fighter. You are a military, you know. So it's not outlaw what you're doing. But under the Treaty of Peace, it's like you are international criminal, you know. Like even if you are an Ustur doing bad things in mud space, the Usturs would be like, no, you are a criminal. You are not doing a good thing, you know. It's like, yeah, it's like international police, you know, like you are hunted everywhere in the galaxy if you break the galactic laws. But if you are on the war, you're not breaking any law. You are working on the conflict, you know. You are military.
So basically, pirates get used to the bounties on your head.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I mean, bounty hunters are just free loot sent our way, so.
It's a bonus, right?
Yeah, they're just bonus rewards. So brilliant. They
It's
sound excellent.
reputation in your world. You earn reputation in your world.
Yeah, this would be fun to create a bounty reputation for pirates, you know, like you are like the pirate king when you have 1 billion atlas in your head, you know.
The pirate
I'm
with
about
the
to start
most
talking about One
bounties.
Piece.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
more.
that'd be good. We should have a most wanted. Just talking in theory crafting. That'd be interesting. I think for both sides of the equation, right? For who is the most successful bounty hunter and who is also the person with the highest price on their head.
Yeah, for
I'm pretty sure we'll be tracking things like that
Yeah.
and so on for sure.
Yeah.
Like that activates like competition, and I mean like that's one of the fun aspects of like playing a game and so on, is that there is competition, that you can see a leaderboard and you can go to the board and be like, what's my ranking today?
Do you
Thinking
see
about
yourself?
that, wow, that's insane. Like, imagine you're in the high risk zone. You click on like a pirate, look at his profile or something, and you can see the number of bounty hunters that he's killed. Like that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
That'd be
And
Do you
super.
envision yourself being the highest bounty in Star Atlas Bomber?
That's a bold statement. I don't know. I'll be up there.
Man, it would be super cool. Like you scan a ship and you say that, oh, that guy, he has just killed 300 players and has a bounty of 1 billion atlas.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you
Have
how's
fun.
that. Even
Try
if
your
it's
luck.
not- yeah, I mean, even if it's not in the works right now, it needs to be updated. Definitely needs to be implemented. Just the bragging rights in any kind of game makes this way more fun.
Man, I'll tell you,
But this
bragging
is
heights.
insane, right?
For sure.
Bragging
Yeah,
heights.
I
Sorry,
was just
please go
wondering,
on.
do you lose your ship if it gets destroyed, or do you lose all that money that you put into the NFT? This is my first time on here. I'm listening, guys.
Hey,
Welcome,
man.
friend.
Pleasure
Welcome.
to have you. And it depends on where you die. You know, Star Atlas has mainly 3 different zones. One is the low risk zone, and on this place, you won't get your ships destroyed. There's no effect on it being destroyed. On the medium risk zone, if your ship gets destroyed, you would lose the loot that you are carrying, but your NFT, your ships, they won't be destroyed. You'd need to repair them, but it would come back to you, and you don't have any lasting damage. But there is one place in the galaxy which is called the high risk zone, which is actually several places because it's enormous. That is where there are the most rare resources in the galaxy. You know, that's where you'll find uncountable riches, and that's also where our pirate friends want to live. So it's going to be a very dangerous but profitable place.
That is
And
awesome.
You choose to go there. Like you have
Yeah.
no. You don't need
obligation
to
to
go
do
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's under your own risk.
That's when you're with their guilds, and your guilds are going in there with flagships and
Yeah,
yes.
You got it. You
exactly.
got it, friend.
You got the
Essentially, yeah.
vibe.
But yeah, so
Bingo.
if you were to lose in your ship in that zone, essentially it would be destroyed in a sense. Like that's how the high risk zone works. So the high risk zone comes with a high amount of possibilities and riches and everything like that, but also with a major risk that comes with it as well.
To note on that, we have discussed insurance policies. I know that the team is looking into it, so there isn't necessarily an entire downside to it. Now, how much we receive in compensation for the destruction of your ship, I don't know. but there is some added benefit there.
Yeah, part of your ship will be given as loot for the one that destroyed you, but the other part will be burned.
Yep.
So it's a
basically.
good mechanism to also sync Atlas from the system, and don't let us overproduct ships and features in the universe.
If I'm not mistaken, months ago, probably things have changed by now. I remember Michael mentioning something like 70 or 80% of the ship will be able to be looted, and then the rest will be burned.
Whoa,
But I
Michael!
might be wrong. I might be wrong.
The
I don't know.
numbers could change. The numbers could definitely change and everything like that.
Yeah.
Also, in regards to the whole insurance thing as well, I'm pretty sure Michael did also say this a while back and everything like that. We done the whole thing behind like how insurance companies could come in. It might not necessarily be something that comes from Star Atlas's side, but
Right.
more so a third party kind of comes in and brings about an option for that and everything like that. So that's also something to think of. But I guess like if the DAO decided, oh no, we want to have insurance policies and things like that and so on, I guess maybe that could be something that could be implemented and so on then.
I know my first vote for the DAO now.
So can you folks remember what Michael suggested as the first vote like months ago, like I think somewhere end of last year?
Atlas,
Yes.
USD being removed, yeah.
I still would
course.
not be surprised if that indeed ends up being the first or one of the first proposals.
I don't think the team will allow that though, because I got that impression from the previous town halls. Because they still need to,
Not so sure. Not so sure.
Yeah, I don't know either
Yeah,
because they've already decreased the ratio of USDC and Atlas to super low. Actually, I thought what is it like 25% Atlas, 75% USDC right now?
80-20 now.
Yeah. So if they went from 50-50 to 80-20, I don't see them having a huge problem with it. I think it'd be a good, cool vote.
I think since Michael mentioned so much that will be up to the DAO vote, I think that's also a reason why they did not go 100-0, because that would mean they would bypass that vote. And I think that's actually something that Michael still expects us to propose and vote for.
What if they voted in the other direction?
Sorry, guys.
So, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry, since the topic was the subject of votes, I wanted to know, since I think I asked it in 2-3 brews before, I said that factions would have something of a hierarchy, right? For example, right now that we start a stream, for example, Ustur or Oni or Mod will have a hierarchy. It has to. It can't be like a zoo. Anyone just going around shooting at their own, discretion. What I was thinking is, can this be like the subject of the vote? What will the hierarchy be? How will any guild, each guild voting for its own? How will the hierarchy be? Will we have one leader, a group of leaders? Will they be a chosen team? Will they be from Star Atlas? Will they be from the people in community? Is it an option to have this vote or no? Is it predetermined?
I think this kind of thing would be a possibility in terms of faction voting. Like if the faction wants to have a clear leadership and a power structure, predetermined, I think it's possible. But to be honest, I don't feel like the community would like this very much, I don't know, just my impression from how I perceive everyone behaving.
I just feel why you think we need a hierarchy.
Yeah, that's the first point that anyone would argue in the community.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I don't
wouldn't
think-
recognize a faction leader.
I would also not recognize a faction leader.
Yeah, you're each going to have your own guilds and everything like that within the faction themselves, and those guild leaders is who the people that you would look to at the end of the day. And within the factions themselves, the guild leaders will need to like establish either some sort of communication or some sort of relation with the other in faction guild leaders. so that, you know, maybe say there's a ceasefire within their own factions and everything like that. But that's all in faction stuff, or like in guild things actually. Like, so there shouldn't be any like kind of hierarchy when it comes to factions or anything like that. The faction is just a faction at the end of the day. Like where storytelling and things like that come in, that's where the faction will bring about new things, and maybe with the proposal of things that happen in the DAO, oh no, now all the factions are at war or something like that. That's more where bigger decisions will come out of, but that's still the general vote of everyone. It's not a hierarchy that happens in that.
Guys, the factions, they are so big, so enormous, you know, like in terms of wallets, in terms of armies, in terms of politics, that the idea of having one player control one faction, it's like having one player control like millions and millions of dollars in the future, you know? Uh, I'm scared, to be honest, that one day one player or one guild is able to control a faction DAO, you know? And I'm sure that there are guilds that are already planning this, because I have heard people talking about this here and there. And of course, Star Atlas don't meddle with this kind of stuff. But hierarchy and order in Star Atlas Metaverse, it's something that could translate into, in the future especially, in big wars that would be like burning millions and millions of dollars, just like wars in real life, you know? So this is something that the more decentralized, the more stable the world of Star Atlas would be. Just my 2 cents here, my 2 Atlas here, you know. But it would also be entertaining to see an empire coming to life in Star Atlas. Not gonna lie, both would
Yeah,
be
I'm with you on
exciting.
that. I would love to see it happen, but obviously squash it.
Yeah, it's like that, you know, like it would be super exciting if someone manages to seize a DAO, you know, like one guild is the leader of the DAO and it would be able to use the faction war mechanism by itself. It would be crazy. It would be really crazy, because if you guys read the economic paper, you see that the faction DAO has a lot of power in terms of gameplay in all fronts, you know? So, yeah, that would be wild. Like, this would be really wild.
Yeah.
Do we know the number of Polish?
political gameplay? No, go for it, Bomber. I think
I was gonna. I don't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say, do we know the exact number of Polish required to take such a vote and such a stance?
That's interesting question, Bomber. And I don't know if anything was defined yet, because I'm not on the game design. But I think that maybe it would require a fixed amount of minimum police to trigger this kind of voting. But it would also relate to how police the whole faction holds, right? Because if you hold more than 51%, or your political group holds more than 51% of the faction pool, in theory, you'd be able to do this, you know?
Is the faction pool predetermined, or it's going to be based upon what we ourselves deposit upon the release of the DAO?
Yeah, that's the 1 million police question, right? I believe. I don't know. This is purely recrafting right now, guys. As you guys know, I'm not on the design team, but I'm pretty sure that this would relate to a minimal amount of police, as you know, as the minimum threshold, but also would be like the minimum limit would fixate on the amount of police locked by the members of the said faction, you know?
Would it be like stock market?
Not sure.
So it's like, let's say if you
With a minimal fixed amount that protects, let us say, the faction from, I don't know, police scarcity or something like that. But yeah, we could theorycraft all the way of this. And another thing that I was thinking about, I don't know how you guys would feel about this, but what if a regional DAO voted to break up with its faction and try to join another? This would also be entertaining.
What do you mean? Could you elaborate?
Yeah, as you know, we have three levels of governance in Star Atlas, right? We have the regional DAO, we have the faction DAO, and we have the Star Atlas DAO, which is the biggest one. The regional DAO is the first level of political governance in Star Atlas. It refers to a star system. So everyone who has land on that, so this is the setup so far, and it's subject to change. But everyone who has land on that star system and that has Polis deposit on the locker is a member of the regional DAO. And my question is, do you guys think it would be cool if the regional DAOs were allowed to vote to break up political relationships with the factions that they belong and try to join another? I think this would be a really interesting. In my front, I think the possibility of this happening, maybe we could establish a few, like thresholds that needed to be achieved to this to happen. But if this was possible, this would bring another level layer of complexity to the political gameplay of the game. That would allow players to do regional politics in face of the central power of the faction,
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I must admit, I assumed it would happen because you should be able to go with at the regional level, go with whatever faction you want.
Do you think you could entirely remove an area to be sovereign to all three factions?
That's another very interesting question, and I think that this would be needed to be voted in the Star Atlas DAO, like the highest level of governance.
Yeah, I think it's a two-step process, right? First, we have to indeed on the upper level DAO decide that that should be a feature that's even possible, because the team will have to implement it first, and then once that is done, we could take the vote to the in-game faction DAO or regional DAO and get it done. But it's important to realize that the game will be, of course, delivered with the current gameplay as described. So anything that's deviating from that will have to be coded by the team first, which will take some time and also potentially money,
requires implementation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing, these decisions that we're talking about, these decisions that are created in the central DAO, the Star Atlas DAO, are they kind of like determined? Do they determine the gameplay, or they just some sort of some policy that, for example, a pirate guild can easily break, and they don't care what's being said inside the Star Atlas DAO. They just do what they like. Is it something like that? Players are able to do that, go against them, or no? Is it just compelling? You have to abide to these rules.
I don't like
a high risk zone. You can do anything.
Yeah.
There's no DAO in the high risk zone. So that's the one thing to remember.
Yeah. And
no governance there.
And Star Atlas is very open to players' liberty, like we love people to have their auto-determination. So it's like in real life, right? When you see, there's a law, you decide to break it, you are incurring the risk of getting sanctioned by the break of the law, And this is more or less the logic that will apply to everything in Star Atlas. And that's what makes the game entertaining, because if from your point of view, if something that the faction established as a law is something that you guys don't agree with and think it's worth breaking or deviating from it, you guys are able to do that, You just will need to deal with the consequences, but this is what being an adult is right? Yeah, but to be an outlaw is not necessarily evil, Sometimes the right thing to do is to be an outlaw, you know? Yeah, but usually that's not how it works, you know. Things tends to have an equilibrium, you know, in some sorts, you know. Like the community is very engaged with Star Atlas overall, and people loves and like to play Star Atlas in a political front as well. So it's not just investors that are buying Polis, you know, that want to play Polis. I guess that most of the people that will be interested in the DAO is people like Signal, who wants to be a politician, you know, people that wants to try to make Star Atlas into the world that they envision that it should be, you know. So there will always be people that want to make things change and to try to create rules and to shape the universe as they see fit. So that's why I don't see big extremes happening in Star Atlas, because the community, the core, is super strong and decentralized. And I think that the only thing that you guys would all agree together is to fight someone that's trying to destroy the universe or to conquer it for himself. You know, this would make the community move really strongly against it. And yeah, I don't see this happening.
But one more question. For example, if the Star Atlas DAO sets a rule, these rules, just like the real world, they have to be executed, right? And since the executioner will be players like us, for example, if I'm against this rule, I can just ignore it and don't execute it and just let people, let people go and just forget about it. And this could, I don't know, cause something like corruption and something like that. You're saying this is possible, right? For example, I'm the
Just
executioner and I just
to,
ignore it.
to some degree, but there will be NPC characters.
Yeah, I think this is super interesting, right? But indeed, I mean, it's like any other nation state. They can make a law, but then it has to be enforced by the local enforcement, which is usually the police. And of course, we have the Council of Peace within the game as well. But again, it would require some tuning of their coding as well to if they also have to act to new offenses. And some things you cannot enforce because they're happening indoors, or you need some analysis after the fact, like an IRS institute, for example, which means on-chain analysis, which could be done by the players, and that could be part of the proposal. Like, how do we want to enforce this proposal? Well, something has to be created that does on-chain analysis to actually map that out, and what would be the repercussions. I mean, all that stuff in a decent proposal should be like any law you would implement in a country, in a nation state. It would actually have to be documented.
Yeah, for sure.
I also
And there
don't
are,
think. Sorry,
I
like I
think
also
one
don't think a
thing
lot of. Sorry, go for it.
I think one thing that's being missed, which must be pointed out from the earliest stages of Swagner talking about the universal DAO and Polis and how all of it works, is that at some point, ATMTA turns this over to the DAO. At some point, every single mechanic change inside the universe, even hiring and firing ATMTA themselves, bringing on other developers, radical changes in the structure of the universe and the game itself will all be controlled by the universal DAO. So it's not just some government figure that you can ignore. It's a lot closer in terms of what it can accomplish in changing the raw mechanics of the universe and the game to a divine figure that just happens to have votes. I certainly wouldn't sleep on participation in the DAO.
for
It's
sure.
not going to just be, hey, we'll ignore it. This body will at some point decide every single mechanical change inside the universe and how the game is played.
That's a very good point.
Yep.
That's why he's a politician, you know?
That's why he's a politician.
Right, a
I
pirate.
also don't think a lot of the a piratician died.
A politician.
I don't think a lot of like the things that may be passed is going to restrict a lot of the gameplay that you're going to be able to enjoy that is part of Star Atlas. I think so long as it's new things that are being implemented and so on, and I think a lot of new things that may pop up in people's mind might be voted on more so than restricting current movements for players to not enjoy what is going on within the Star Atlas metaverse itself and everything like that may come to the Polis DAOs, like proposals and so on. Not so much restricting what you can do or what you will be able to do that is like foreseen that might be coming, but more so to implement more things that may come for the future rather than restrict you, open more doors for you.
Yeah, exactly. This is the objective, to make the game more complex with new layers of engagement, with new opportunities, with new gameplay loops. This is going to be all super exciting, because how I envision like the market, the intergalactic market and the Polis DAO. This is going to be a gameplay loop. It won't be simply like, oh, I locked my Polis, so now I'll vote for those motions. So you do a few clicks. No, guys. Playing the Polis way, being a politician in Star Atlas, will require people coordination, will require you do politics, you visit other decks, you learn who are the players in your regional DAO, in your faction DAO, in the whole Polis DAO. You try to govern a different space zone or space region, try to acquire influence and power over there. This is going to be an actual gameplay loop. Same thing with the market. Like if you know that there is a faction war coming, you need to prepare yourself. So you try to stock up supplies, you need to see business opportunities. All things that we are creating now, all projects at Atlas, they will be in real game institution that you guys will be able to play, engage, and that will have an impact inside the universe of the game. This is the really exciting feature about Star Atlas. Everything is intertwined, not only on lore, but on the gameplay features. This is the end game goal of Star Atlas. This is actually what it means to be a metaverse. That's when we break the barrier between who you are outside of Star Atlas and who your character will be in Star Atlas. My end game vision is that you are only one person that's voicing your opinion and playing and impacting the metaverse of Star Atlas by yourself, being yourself. And this is the coolest.
Well said.
You took the whole stage away. You took everybody's breath away, Jose. You took everybody's breath away.
For 1 second, I thought I had lost my connection. I was like, oh my God.
Well, since we had that long silent moment, I'm going to change the topic. And I want you guys to focus on just the new tweet from Star Atlas. So there's a new freight ship, transport ship coming, I guess. What do you guys think?
I didn't see that.
Well, we did.
Wait, what?
Yeah, check out the Star Atlas Twitter.
You're updating the team that a ship got released. Mark that.
Oh, that's how dedicated we are. Sorry.
Yo, give this man XP right now.
A plus 50 DK.
He's earned it.
Oh, this is awesome.
XP for Lumina.
Give
No
me
problem. No problem. Anytime.
Doing God's work.
Yeah.
And we have a guest too. Maybe it's a Fimble sledge barge as a capital freight.
Who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah, I say
Always
nothing.
ahead.
I say nothing about the ship.
Yeah,
Ronin.
Ronin has the alpha. Put Ronin on the
Oh,
spot.
hey,
What do you
yeah.
mean? No,
Time to get Ronin on the spot,
No, what the hell?
Revenge.
What do you want from me?
Revenge. Lick the alpha.
No,
We need
I can't say anything much on this ship right now. Actually,
Oh,
I guess what I could say and everything like that is it is amazingly beautiful.
sure looks like it.
It's an Origa, really?
What?
Yeah,
do you
put
want me to
pressure.
say?
Put pressure on him.
What more do you want me to say?
Just
I don't know
sum up
what more I could actually say about it or anything like that.
It could be the Sampa in that case.
No, I'm not saying anything.
You can answer a question.
I could
Just
do yes
something
and
like-
no's, maybe.
Right, yeah, go ahead. So is it a thimble manufacturer or not? Really easy. Yes or no?
Is it freight?
It is a thimble since you just powed. So, I can tell. Okay, we got the alpha.
Okay, that's all the alpha you need.
That is a sick fucking design.
It's
It
Funny,
is
bro, it
a-
looks like that.
It is a very
wait.
large ship, and what it can do and everything like that is it's pretty good. It's well, in my opinion,
Okay.
it's very very nicely done. How its design is and everything like that is very very interesting. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy what it brings about and so on, especially for what the design was done to it.
Right. Well, since you said it's a very very large ship, and I'm looking at the brochure, I see thimble sledge barge as a capital freight.
Yeah, could be, could not be. I don't.
I'm just saying.
I didn't.
saying.
I said
You
for
see,
what it is.
Ronnie?
It could be something else. It still could be something
Just
else.
say I'm here with
Maybe-
my popcorn, man. Not sure about you.
Yeah,
Oh
bro.
my gosh! So
Yeah.
wait. Just because I'm on the spot now, does that mean that Santi gets to sit there and just be like, yes, leak
Yeah,
more,
it
leak
means
more
exactly
precious.
that. It
I
means
told you at
exactly
the
You
that.
deserve
beginning.
this, Ronnie. You
What do you
deserve
mean
it.
I deserve this?
Hold on. The other option could be an Ogrica Sunapa, but
Yeah,
doesn't look like an Ogrica Sunapa to me in terms of the design.
I agree.
So the only option is, I guess, a thimbles, a sledge barge. So
Hey, but
unless
Ronan,
if there is another, transport ship. that we-
perhaps you can just answer the question: is this a brand new role, or is it a role we already have?
It looks
okay,
pretty
no.
aggressive. I can't put my thumb on it, but it looks like a submarine. I wouldn't put it past me.
No, but the problem is if I answer that question, it answers instantly what's on the brochure. I already know that one. That one I can't. I don't think
That's
I
a
can
tricky
answer.
one. That's a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't think I could answer that because that would answer the brochure instantly if I was to say what it was and everything like that.
The role. So it is a new role, because if you would say it's an existing one, you would not answer. Okay, cool. Thank
No,
you.
no.
Oh,
Because if
man,
I said
cracker. Oh
if
my
I
Fun
said
cracker.
that-
I love this fun
no,
cracker.
if I said it was an existing one and everything like that, then it would put the category down very very low. But now that I say it's nothing, it broadens the category completely. So it still doesn't give you the option to choose whether it is within it or whether it's not. So I say
Oh.
nothing.
Well, I have a concept art picture in front of me, one of the old concept art pictures from Star Atlas, and one of the ship-looking ship looks very similar to this sort of,
Wait, where's
grayed
this?
out
Where's
image.
this?
hold on.
Wait,
post.
put the
Okay, well,
put the image. Put the image.
Do you really want me to do that? All right, I don't mind.
Yeah. Put the
Yeah,
image.
yeah.
Put the image.
Well,
I want to
since
see.
you're
On the brew,
start-
on the brew chat, on the brew
Atlas
chat.
Brew chat. Atlas
Yeah, on the brew chat.
Share it with
Oh
the
my
class.
God.
Share the alpha.
Put it over there.
Give me the
All
alpha.
right.
Let's see. Let's see. Santi.
Okay. I'm gonna shut up. I don't want to spoil it.
No. Post
I
it
don't
there,
know
post
anything
it there.
about it. But okay.
No, you literally have already stated that you have the concept art.
Well,
If it's already made public and everything like that, then what's the issue? You may as well just post it. over
Yeah.
there.
Post it.
it just looks like it. That's all.
Just post it. Just
Hold
post
on.
Was this a bluff? Was this a bluff?
Peer pressure. Do
It's
it.
crazy. It's crazy how you can get on the
Do
spot
it.
real quick.
Do it.
This is
Real
a
quick.
political move.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now it's
hold
looming
on.
on the spot.
No, Lumina.
If it's
Show
made
your hand.
public, I'm
Show
not-
show
nothing's
the
gonna
show the
happen.
straight flush. Show the straight flush.
Okay. Give me a sec.
The suspense. Oh my god.
This-
know, right?
Man, I love the freestyle brew.
I am now waiting for this image.
Yeah, man.
I am super curious. Aha.
Uh-huh.
Wait.
Could be.
I don't know. This looks more like
It's the one of the old a concept.
Oh,
art.
I remember
Did you just
remember
post
this
something?
concept art. Oh,
Let me
I
see
remember
what
this
you
concept
post.
art. This concept art is old. Oh my gosh!
Here you
Look at
go.
the
Yeah.
ship.
See, this is the one. This is the one I was talking about. Yep. Well,
Look
thanks
at
a
the
lot,
ships.
Barrett.
Open up that image and then go to the bottom left over there. Look at those ships. What the frick is that?
Yeah. Well,
I never even looked at that.
That's the shipyard. Well, there's actually a concept picture better than this one that shows the entirety of the ships around that. I think it's the either a resource center or mining center just around it. I'm trying to find that one because I was looking at this one, but there's another one which was released like 7 or 8 months ago.
How cool is this art for that artist
It is
to have
pretty
done
cool.
it like this? Like, and they didn't even like think about. Oh, look at all those ships on the shipyard. That looks sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Cool.
This is why I'm in the design and so on, so that I can actually go look at all these images and be like, oh my gosh, what's going on there? It's so
Yeah,
freaking
man.
cool.
Don't
so
speak
funny.
because you will be in the spot again, Ronnie.
All right,
Be
all
careful.
right.
Yeah, Ronnie. Take care, bro.
I
This is
say
the one-
nothing.
This is the colored one.
Oh,
Okay,
wait, did they color that or did somebody do that?
Well, let me hold on. Let me post this real quick.
Because I
then you
can't
can-
remember.
Where are you posting this shit?
In
Brew-
the
Atlas
The
Brew
Brew
chat.
chat.
Yeah, but Barry is posting it.
Ooh. I can't remember them like ever
City.
putting any visuals on this one before.
They don't look
Did
exactly the same, though it might have changed, of course.
Let me find this thing.
This
real
is
quick.
so cool. This is I love these images. This is so cool. Like, oh, I tell you, it's
There
one of
you
the
go.
best things. It's one of the best things about being in Star Atlas is being able to work with these amazing people and their amazing vision.
This is the one I was talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this image actually. This image
How
is out
come?
of this world.
I think it's the first time I see this image, man.
Yeah,
This is also
same.
this is the very first time I'm seeing this image. This
Well-
is out of this world.
You didn't then you didn't do your homework. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Got me
The guy is fiery.
Yo, no, like listen, I'm busy behind the scenes doing
Ah,
a lot
Ronnie,
of
come
different
You have a
things.
job, right, Ronnie? You have a job.
This Ronnie guy.
What do you
man.
mean this? Okay.
Here's the thing. I'm in
I'm
Atlas Brew
feeling
right now.
targeted.
I'm also teaching at the same time online. So
Oh wow.
Okay.
Let's
so-
go,
no, I'm not
Professor
kidding. Easy.
Lumina.
Why am I getting shots fired at so much? Listen, yeah, I don't show up for a little while, and all of a sudden it's just like Ronan this, Ronan that. It's like just bang, 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 going out inside of you.
It's 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah,
Now
dog.
you get in the spot in 1 second.
Santi-
That's how it
Ronnie,
Oh my
Ronnie is
gosh.
feeling like 1% of like.
Yeah.
How about
every-
Private? I don't know. That's so far down the line for that stuff to happen. But
Yeah.